Morning everyone. Yes, they do what they normally do at this time of the morning. As long as you don't get injured, I don't mind. It's 8:42 and that's not because we're lazy, that was because there was just no breeze. I've come up here because there's a better breeze up here than down there. I've opened the tent doors so the wind can go through and hopefully blow the midges away. I went out about half an hour ago and there was not even this amount of breeze and I was literally covered. You wouldn't think it, would you, here, because we're right by the coast and yeah, there's moorland up there, but here it's pretty grassy, isn't it? But yeah, I feel like wind is coming from this way today. But anyway, so I'm gonna eat up here where it's a bit more windier. I mean, I don't know if you can see my legs. Look, that's like half an hour going out. And of course the DEET was in one of my bike pouches, I forgot it. So I had to run to the bike to get the DEET, but by that time they'd already eaten me. And so we dived back in the tent, waited, and I thought I've got to make a plan of action. And just as I was thinking that, the breeze started picking up. And we managed to escape out here, but otherwise we'd be stuck in here for an hour or 2 hours. Someone else is camped over there. I didn't even hear them come in. They must have come in late last night. Got in the tent. I think we're all settled down for 6:30, maybe a bit earlier, but that's because I knew midge time was about 7 o'clock. And lo and behold, looked out, I wanted to take photos of the sunset. Lo and behold, there's swarms of midges out about 7 o'clock. The sunset was a bit hazy, so I didn't really miss much because I was looking underneath the tent fly. And so I settled down. I woke up at 9:30. I know I was really lazy when I needed sleep. And temperature really dropped. And overnight, I got up about 3 o'clock to feed the dogs like I have to do. And clear skies, stars, full moon nearly. And it was quite chilly. And we've got a lot of dew, even on the field. I was walking across a minute ago and there's a lot of dew across the field. So the tent is absolutely saturated. That's another reason why I've opened it out. And that's not because of us, it's just because of the conditions from hot to very chilly. You know, I wouldn't say it was cold, but cooler. And that caused all the moisture to come out of the ground and everything. And as I say, it's still saturated now with the dew. So plan is to have brekkie and then pack up and then we'll move out and we'll do the next part. I'd love to stay here another day, but all I'll do is just laze. And yeah, that's good. But you don't drive all the way up here just to sit around here. Otherwise it's wasted time. So bag up, pack up, hopefully move out about 11ish. Won't be able to do much today because the time you really got to settle down, sadly, when the midges are around, is about 4 o'clock, so you can have dinner, get pitched up and all that, so that you're ready to beat the midges at 7. It's a tactic you learn when you come out in the Highlands. Yes, you can try and sit it out, but I tell you, it's absolute murder when you try and do that. Oh, one other thing. All night, up to, when I say all night, up to about 10 o'clock, we had this sheep walking by us and calling for the mothers or whatever. Then it went dead quiet in the early hours. I don't know what they all did, settle down. And then they all started again about 5 o'clock. And they all seem to be walking by the tent. So funny. Noisy neighbours. Seemed like here, not much wind. But up there's a bit of breeze. So that's what I'll do until it picks up down here. And then I can start bagging up. To give a chance for the tent to dry out. Rebel! Rebel! Where's he gone? Nearly 10:30, late. Had to wait for the midges to go. It was murder. People that were pitched over there, they just cleared off. I don't think they even had any breakfast or coffee or anything. Just straight out of the tent and gone. Leave no trace, obviously. Rocks have gone back. Oh, that rock was back over there. Hold on. I don't know why it makes a difference, but leave it as you found it. And that rock can go. I don't know if you're getting any of this. That's it. The one that's resting on can stay there. I don't think that'll matter. There's rocks all over the place. But anyway, leave it as you found it. No rubbish, no litter. Back to the car now. Beautiful spot. Love it. And it's hot. But there's hardly any wind. I'd say it's about 3-4 miles an hour, if that. And that's midges keep coming back in little bits and they keep biting you. And it's just murder. Don't look it now, it looks lovely now, but when I was packing up, every time it'd stop, it'd be round my head. But you're going to get it in Scotland. You just got to put up with it. Right, we're moving out. We're only going about 30-40 miles up the road to the back end of Fisherfield. It's the northern end. But the biggest issue I've got is it's Friday, bank holiday's coming up, where to park the car. I saw a couple of slots, but we were early yesterday, so I'm hoping I can park the car because I've got to think of the dogs. If it was just me, it wouldn't be a problem. Right, moving on. Good afternoon. Day 2. Out on the bike now. We're somewhere near Dundonnell and I think it's called Laird or Laird. And there's a track that leads to Loch na Selga and the Fisherfield area and all that's there. But I think we're hitting another forest classed forest, even though it's just mountains. But it's a good track. So it's given me plenty of practice and there's a nice breeze here as well. Time is 12:30. So if we can get 3-4 hours biking in, it'll be brilliant. And they're having a good time. Oh, when you park on the road there, before this track, there's a gate. So I loaded the bike out on the road, brought it down, gate was padlocked. I thought, oh no, I've got to take everything off. Sitting there going, oh no, I don't want to do this. Next minute, Land Rover pulls out. It was the owners. They had a key for the padlock, obviously, unlocked the padlock and let me through. Job done. Seemed quite pleasant. So, miracles do happen. And they're finding plenty of water. And I'm taking it nice and steady because, don't forget Stella's 11 years old. Rebel, you'd run forever, but Stella, I end up running her to the ground, so I've got to do it in steps. Plus, it gives me a good chance to learn because bike packing with all this gear on is much different than riding a fat bike with no gear on. I can assure you. But it's working. Even the lead, nothing's on my back at all. I don't want no backpacks or anything like that. Just a helmet, obviously for safety. Might have to get knee pads and elbow pads. I'm only joking. But look at the views. And as I say, plenty of water. There should be a river that runs all the way along, so we shouldn't have a problem with getting water. Obviously, pitch spot where near water is going to be a problem, but as we found out yesterday, there was midges everywhere. They're probably picking up 1 million ticks here. Look at them. Like big kids. I'm going, you two. I'm going to leave you. Look at her. 11 years old and she still runs around like an idiot. Just watch she don't overdo it. I didn't give her no medication or anything like that last night because we didn't do anything. Come on, Rebel. Come on, you. Look at it. Happy, aren't they? So I could have lazed on the beach, but as I say, the midges were bad there. And plus, what would I do? I'd just sit around. Right, enough chatting. I gotta go biking. Sorry, I can't film when I'm on the bike because I need both hands with all this gear. So you're gonna have to believe me, I'm biking. If I fall off and end up on my head, you'll know. Right, I'm hoping to get some great views further up. Wow. Absolute glorious day again. It's a good 20 degrees, lovely breeze. I haven't put any repellent on because of the breeze, so, and the clegs would still bite you anyway. Making good progress. I mean, it only took me 5 minutes to get here. I would, if I was walking, I'd still be walking around now. So I can have breathers and make sure I stay the rests. Right, this river is called the Grunard River, and the area we're approaching more to the right is Inchgarve forest. I guess many millions of years ago or thousands of years ago, it used to be a forest. Now it's all been forested and died or whatever. Sorry, I'm no good on history or anything like that. So you know where we are. And as I say, this river will lead all the way, or flow from, Loch na Selga, and beyond that is the Fisherfield and all that. You would have seen about 8 months ago, winter time, I did a hot tent, and I came down from Corryhallie, which is near Dundonnell, and went up the tops. Even visited Shenavell Boffey, but because COVID restrictions, it was all out of bounds. But I wouldn't have used it anyway because, as I say, I had the hot tent. Obviously, daylight hours are shorter there, so I couldn't explore as much as I wanted to. So what I thought I'd do, seeing that I was up at Slaggan Bay, which is only about 10 miles, 12 miles, I think, at the most, away from here. Rebel, get up. You're picking ticks up. I thought I'd pop in the back end of this, and I found a track on the map, so I thought, why not? And I want to get a view, but there's mountains all around us, water plentiful, hopefully a breeze, and a good pitch spot. I mean, that's too much to ask, isn't it, really? But anyway, what I'm doing, I'm learning, because it's so hard work going uphill with, say, 70-80 pounds on the bike. I'm taking rest. I know I'm cheating, but I'm taking rest and giving Stella a chance to rest, walking uphill, and then on the levels and downhills I'm doing the biking. Hey, give me a chance. I've only just started. Water's crystal clear. No algae or sediment or mould or moss like you're getting in some of the UK rivers. Really clear, except for them churning it up. We're really pushing in now. I don't know how many miles we've done, but it's a lovely track, this. I'm enjoying it. Great fun. And there was a lovely pitch spot there, but it's too early. It's only 1 o'clock. I ain't stopping yet. I'll start about 3:30, 3:45. So gives you time to set up and eat before the dreaded pitches. Sorry if I'm spinning around fast there. I keep forgetting. As I say, I ain't got no GoPro. I've got a camera, DSLR, but I'm using that to take photos of the mountains and all that. But I've got enough gear. I can't put tripods and all that on there. I've got more than enough gear. I'm carrying some of the dog gear and all that. That's it, Rebel, get everything wet. Stella loves soaking. It's the way, I think she now realises how beneficial that is for her. The only thing is, she comes out, she come out a good place. She normally comes out the bank where it's steepest, where you can stretch her legs. Did you cool off, Stella? I think you're not going to die first, are you? Right, we've got to push on. Enough fun. Well, no, that's incorrect. Not enough fun. This is good fun. I see why fat bikes are so good on these trails. I mean, here's good, look. Here you could get any bike, but back there it's bouldery as hell. And there was no way of missing them. As I say, I'm a total novice, so thank you, Rebel. I was scared he was going to knock the bike over. Away from the bike. Good. Yeah, I'm a total novice, so I'm going to make 100 mistakes. But I don't mind. It's making mistakes that gives you all the lessons you need to know. And I'm bound to come off sooner or later. That's how I learned. Right, pushing on. One short thing before I move off. there is a little forest. It's not like Fisherfield where there's no forest. So I take it that's the Inchgarve forest. So I stand corrected. I thought it was all just moorland and mountains. +1. Realised I hadn't had anything to eat, so I had a couple of chocolate bars. Nothing hot today. Yesterday I knew I'd be doing this, so I had extra food yesterday to get into my system. So I'm not going to be running low on calories or anything like that. The plan was always move the car to this location, get on the bike and do a short trek, find a good pitch spot and then work it from there. So had a rest, replacing plenty of fluids. I got some pop there, but dogs are getting plenty of water. If I needed water, there's plenty of that. It is very hot. I'm saying 21, 22. If it went for the breeze, we'd be in problems. We'd really be cooking. I'm cycling and, you know, I'm not really overdoing it. I'm not pushing it or anything. I'm just having fun, but I'm sweating like a God knows what. Pouring out of me. Bike's doing brilliant. Very, very happy with that. Oh, see, we're in an area where there's no breeze and the midges are starting to show themselves. Right, better start pushing on. Get out of this shady spot as such. Nice streams, isn't it? So I don't know where them people went. They went in a Land Rover. I guess they owned the place because they got a padlock, but I don't know where they've gone. We should be cutting through to some nice mountain views soon. I mean, that ain't bad, is it? Don't ask me the names. I do not know. More water stops. I'm sweating like a... I don't know. Can't say. It'd be too rude. Wow. That's what they look like, really. The camera makes everything go wide. Fun on that track. After I had my chocolate bars, don't know what happened. Sugar gun to my head as I couldn't even steer in a straight line for a minute. Rebel, get away from the river. You've got a plate of water here. Yeah, twice I couldn't steer in a straight line. You know, when your brain just goes... So I got off, pushed up a hill bit and said, come on, get a grip of this. And then we're off again. Just sometimes, it's like driving a car at the very beginning. You know, you oversteer sometimes, you're braking too much, you're overthinking, that's what it is. And that's what I was doing. I was getting in a muddle. You know, walking is just one foot in front of the other and carrying a pack. With the bike, it's more fun. But of course, you're going at, sometimes you're going like, I don't know, 10, 15 miles an hour at least. So you've got to be careful. There's drop-offs on one side and a forest, and on the other side there's a great big ditch. So your brain starts freezing. It says, mustn't drop off, mustn't go in the ditch, and then you end up getting all wibbly wobbly. So the thing is not to think, Rebel, get up. Otherwise you'll start panicking about every little thing. The only thing I got for this biking was some shoes, because I thought I can't use trainers because they're not tough enough, I don't think. That's too soft. And these are 510s, they're called 510 Max Pro or Pro Max. They're Adidas. I didn't buy them brand new, I got them second hand. You know, I don't go out and flash or money or anything like that. But I do need some trousers. I was using these are brilliant, but I need something. When I'm cocking my leg over that, it's quite high, and these are getting a bit sticky, sweaty with the biking. So I do need something clothing wise, you know, for trousers, something like that. The other thing, I probably will get a couple of shirts. Not because I want to prance around looking like some cyclist, even though I will be. It's just, obviously the clothing's made, it stretches at different areas and it makes it easier getting on and off the bike. That's the hardest thing I've found, getting over that, cocking my leg over all that, because it's pretty high. I'm not one for kind of zigzagging in and that. The other thing I've found hard is, I don't know why, but I'm sweating a hell of a lot. And I don't feel as I'm working hard. And of course it's running in front of my eyes. So, you know, I'm not confident with the weight of the gear on there to start one-handing, you know what I mean, while I'm riding. So that'll come in time again. But yeah, so I have to stop to wipe sweat off the forehead because it is hot. But I mean, such beauty. I'm hoping round along this river somewhere there's like a nice, there was one back there, smooth grassed area, you know what I mean? So less chance of ticks and things like that, and I can see, Rebel, get up! And I'd like it in the open so that hopefully some wind blows through and then we've got all the mountains around us. That's the plan. It's only 2 o'clock, so we've got plenty of time to look for somewhere. If I find somewhere perfect, say in the next hour, then I'll stop early. Because I've done more than enough, I've had lovely fun, so end while you're winning, so to speak. Don't forget, this is the first time bike packing. You know, so let's not go crazy, eh? As I say, all the gear I've had over the last 18 months, I haven't bought anything. Everything's all been there, and all the clothes and all that is what I've been using when I'm hiking. So again, I haven't splashed out. And I nearly, as I said, nearly got rid of the bike. I'm glad I did now. Great fun. And to be honest, a fat bike is just absolutely perfect for this terrain. You know, I know nothing about other bikes, but trust me, for me, with these big thick wheels, it's just absolutely perfect. Right, I'm gonna get wet feet now because I've got shoes on and no boots, and of course they're not that high. Right, let's see, could be fun. Catch you a bit later on. Oh, what a breeze here. Yep, we're pitching here. Oh, there's a good pitch spot there. That's it. Oh, tempting. I think we found our pitch spot. This is Loch Selga. I think we can pitch down there. It's not tidal like the estuary. It would only rise if there was heavy rains and flooding, and we ain't got none of that today. And it's been dry for a while, look. There's a boathouse on the end there. The road, or track should I say, leads to the end there, and there's a boathouse and there's some locals having a picnic under the tree there. So we've come around there. It's a bit rough going coming round, but I'll get the bike around. And I can lean the bike against here so it's not resting on the ground. And we've got great views. Got to find some running water somewhere. I don't normally, I know it sounds stupid when you've got a lock, but I don't like drinking out a lot, even with filtered water. We'll see. I'll have to probably boil it. Because I've seen so many dead things in locks. I mean, deer, sheep, goats, you name it. There's probably stacks of them drowned in there. So I like to get running water if possible. But if I have to, I'll filter it and then boil it. I have got some tablets, as a matter of fact, some purification tablets. I might whack a couple of them in after filtering it, just to be safe. But I did hear some water trickling, but it's very slow. Might have to go up a bit and see if I can find it running. But anyway, I've got to go and get the bike now. Wish me luck. Look at these two. But there's a great breeze coming through here, and that's perfect for us to set up. Well, it's 8:15. Dogs have been fed. I've been fed. I had something to eat, cheese macaroni, and for some stupid reason, I've had it hundreds of times, for some stupid reason I made it runny, put too much water in. But I have to say, it was gorgeous. It was like eating custard, you know, thick custard, but it's got a sloppy kind of build to it. That tasted of cheese. So two things I love is custard and I love cheese. So that turned out really nice. Normally I make it too dry or a bit stodgy and it feels a bit heavy, so I'm sure it'll sink later on. But had that nice big mug of coffee, and then I had I think it was Adventure Foods, I don't know, exhibition, it could be an Expedition Food, sorry. It was custard with wild berries. It tasted beautiful again. So I had that and a big mug of coffee, and I'm full up. I don't want the dogs in the water because they're going to bed in a minute. Look at these two. I've just given Stella a magic aspirin, so she'll be fine. As I say, nearly 6:20, so I'm expecting any time soon the wind to ease off and the midges to come out. So we're ready. Checked over the bike, seems fine. A couple of rattles here and there, but things will loosen. I brought some Allen keys. I haven't brought a whole set though, so I hope nothing falls off. We shall see. But this is, as I say, first time out, first time learning bike packing. So what issues I come across will teach me, you know what I mean? It'll make it much better. You too! Don't want them going near the water, because if she starts going near water, she'll get wet and then she'll lie down all night and it'll get, the temperature drops overnight, really. Oh, she's all right. She's just going around marking territory. I've noticed that it's weird, as she's got older she's changed. I mean, Hugh marks territory obviously because the males do that, but I've noticed that if she sees where he goes, she'll mark his territory to say, like, either to say he's mine, or I don't know, you know, it's really weird. But she was a dog that never liked other dogs. I mean, she wasn't over aggressive at them, she just wouldn't, she'll turn away from them, or she'll just walk off and leave them alone. Stella, no, lie down. She wants to get in, she's ready for settling down. Stella, lie down. We'll go in a minute. She's stiff. Just giving her aspirin, as I say, we did it really easy today. I didn't do it, it's something like 7 miles, so it's nothing too crazy. So we were doing a bit of running, a bit of cycling, she was doing a bit of trotting, nothing fast. Then there was a lot of hills, so when I come into the hills, it was giving me a good excuse to get off the bike instead of pedal. And then she was resting then I did lots of water stops, and there was times when we just stood there and stayed under some shade, you know what I mean? So I've not pushed her, she's not overdone it, she was looking fine. It's just because it's late in the evening and she stiffens up. She's an older dog. Rebel, leave her alone. Plats. There you go, he lies right on top of her. So dog's okay, bike's okay, tent's okay, I'm okay. Just a shame that we have to go in the tent so early, isn't it? But there again, she's ready for it anyway. Don't do me any harm. I charge up the phone. I took some photos today, not many, because as I say, I've got lovely scenery now, but it was earlier on there was a bit of scenery, but this is the really good stuff going into the Fisherfield and along this Loch Na Selga. Crazy names they give them now. But anyway, I was eating my dinner, someone come around the corner hiking. He's always been on one of the Munros, so dogs went crazy. I didn't even expect him. Luckily they didn't chase him or anything. He was understanding. I said good evening. People that were doing fishing down there, the locals or whatever, they seem to have a kind of a club or ownership of this little spot, this boathouse, because they've all got padlocks, keys for the padlock, sorry. They doing fishing, and they said there's not many fish in there at this time. So they were all cleared off, and they said the same thing. About 7 o'clock, this is plagued by midges. It's a loch. Scotland, lots of dampness around, you'd expect it. But as you saw yesterday, we're on the coast, nice breeze blowing in, the breeze stops, midges came out, so they're everywhere anyway, so you can't hide from them. I was reading some people are hundreds of meters up these mountains and they were still getting midges once the breeze died. So, you know, I'm not taking the bike up there. I'm sorry, there's no way I'm going up there with a bike. I'm good, but not that good. I don't know if on the video, I don't know if this is looking so awesome. It's really, really big, but as I say, the video's on wide angle, isn't it? So it always makes everything look so small. You know, mountains look like little hills, but it's beautiful. As I say, that's it for us. We'll be settling down. What I've got planned for tomorrow, I have no idea. Give me something to think about when I'm in there. I can't go no further this way. Well, I can, but it's very hard terrain, you know, because it's like this at best, and sometimes it's not even this good. So it'd be too much of a slog pushing too far in. There was a lovely spot just back there where I could pitch, but as I say, it's too close now from here to there, where there was a bridge, and it was beautiful, nice and open, all the mountains around. Don't want to go back to the car. I'll think of something, don't you worry. Might go exploring up there. Leave the bike then, tent down here and go exploring. I haven't got the gear, the shoes for it. I've got bike shoes, but I'm sure they'll do the job if I'm careful. I've got hike. Oh, I can't take the hiking post when we can. They're holding the tent up. Right, I'm rambling now. I better go before you go on. No, not another long video. Right. Hope you enjoy these. As I say, before I do go, I know they're not most professional. What I'm trying to do is show you routes, show you what I get up to. I hope it inspires others to do similar things. They don't have to do what I'm doing. I don't expect anyone to go to Scotland and do all that. But if it kind of gives you encouragement to just go locally hiking or do a wild camp locally, you know, I know they're illegal, but everyone's up to it. So come on, let's be honest, you know what I mean? As long as you common sense, no rubbish, look after the place, respect the place, treat people right. And if people ask you to move on, then move on. Here, you're allowed to wild camp in Scotland, so it's great. I can pitch anytime I like. But as I say, yeah, I hope it inspires others. They're not the most professional because I'm doing them on iPhone. I'm sometimes doing it on another phone or some camera. I've got so many bits and bobs to add to YouTube, but I'd never find the time. And I'm not taking tripods, not taking extra camera gear because I've got enough on that bike. You know what I mean? I'm carrying for the dogs, gear for the dogs. This time Rebel was carrying the food, thank God. But other times when I'm hiking and all that, I'm carrying, I mean, it was £14 for him and he normally carries half, I carry half. So that's £7 extra I'm carrying in my backpack. So you now understand where all the weight's coming from when I'm doing these hikes. But yeah. I hope you enjoy them. All the subscribers and the people who have subscribed to me, I really appreciate it. When I did this, I've said many times before, I never expected to get more than 10, 20 at the most. I've expected maybe a few friends look them up and, you know, but I never expected to get, I've got near 1,000. It goes through wanes where suddenly you get a lot of subscribers and then you don't. As I say, it's just something different. It's like a fly on the wall. You are my buddies. You're coming along with me hiking. And, you know, I'm not trying to do professional gear reviews. I couldn't do them anyway. I'm terrible. And I'm not trying to do pictures of me standing against these scenes and all that. You know, I'm not one for standing in front of a camera, for one. Two, it's not about me. It's about the views. It's about the dogs. It's about what we get up to. You know, Everyone does it their own way. I'm not saying anyone that does it any different way is wrong. I'm saying everyone does it differently. This is how I do it. So yeah, that's about it. Any questions you ever want to know, however silly, as long as they're not, so we get some of these trolls, but common sense questions I'll answer. I try and answer everyone. I appreciate everyone's kind comments. Sometimes people give me advice, and I like that, especially with bike packing. People will give me advice, I'm sure, and I will listen to some of it, and the rest of it I'll probably ignore because I'm pig-headed that way. I like to do things my own way, but I will listen to advice, and I will take things on board, especially about bike packing, because I know nothing about it at all. Just going to get stroppy with him. Right, we're going before there's a war here. Bye for now. Or see you later anyway. Probably it'll be in the tent where we hiding from the midges. Finally calming down. Oh, she's asleep. Sorry, I'm straining red. Just noticed that. They all have these calluses or whatever where they rub against things. I don't know what it is. Don't know why they do that. It's where they lean against things. But anyway, thought I'd show you aftermath of this morning. I don't know if you can get these. Look at the size of these bites. These were not ticks. These were midges. Look. I mean, there's my finger now. And look at the size of the bites. Don't normally get them that bad. I knew I'd been bitten bad. I'm finding them everywhere. I've got to be careful what I show you. You know what I mean? But I wanted to show you, I'm not one for moaning when the midges bite, but they were nasty this morning. And I've been out, how many times I've been out. And sometimes clegs get me. And they can give real nasty bites. And they normally get me underarm, under the elbow. I don't know why, it's the way I'm walking or whatever, and they get behind the elbow. But this morning after I got bitten, I really got attacked really bad and nastily. It's like they're vindictive. But I realised my body was itching all over, and I realised it was like, because of so many bites, and if they were that nasty, I can see why I was reacting. So I took an antihistamine tablet, a Pyritone. Look at him jumping because I did that. To stop the reaction in the body, and it worked, thank God. But they were nasty at Slaggan Bay. Hope they're not that nasty here. Haven't seen many yet. Normally they're all kind of ganging up on the netting to look for us. But I haven't seen any yet. Looks like the wind stopped. I can't see underneath. When we got in here last night, I took a temperature reading. It was 29 degrees inside here. I know that sounds crazy, but don't forget, it's just like a sun shield, isn't it? Kind of grabbing on the sun, the flyers. But it soon dipped, you know what I mean, as soon as the sun went down. But I took it tonight and it's 23.9, so it's already cooler. Last night, sorry, excuse me, and now I've stopped getting tired. Last night, up to about, I'm guessing, I got up at 3 to feed them, so it wasn't too bad then. Early hours, probably about 4 or 5, it seemed to get a bit, I'm not going to say cold because it's not cold at this time of year, but it seemed to get chilly, you know what I mean? I think it's the big drop of the temperature, and hence all the dew and the condensation on the tent. But and my toes were just starting to feel it, so I haven't brought any socks in. But if normally I do carry a spare pair of thermal ones just in case, because I'm one of these people that if my feet get cold, then I'm cold, even though I'm not cold, if you get what I mean. It seems to be like my feet are the first sign of ice blocks, and then I suddenly feel cold. But if I keep my feet warm, even in winter, then yeah, I don't feel the temperatures at all, really. When I'm walking, fine. They can get soaked, they can get snow on and everything. It's just when they stop at night. So sleeping bag's in now. I'm going to let it out. I just kept it because Rebel will go over it and give it a chance to air before I crash out. I use it as a quilt. I don't zip up into it at this time of year. This is one of the light ones. It's a Marmot 30, I think it's degree one. Very lightweight. I sold my quilts, as you know. I used to have an Enigma quilt, what they call it, enlightened equipment quilts, and they were brilliant quilts. But when I wanted a sleeping bag, I didn't have a sleeping bag. But these, which is the sleeping bag, I can use as a quilt, and that's what I've been doing lately in the summer months, using it as a quilt, and it works perfectly. I use because it zips down only so far, I use the foot box as a foot box, just as you would in a quilt, and then I leave the zip open, obviously, and just wrap it around me, and because it's wider than an actual quilt, it seems to cover me better than a quilt. Whereas the quilts they were made for lightness, and this sleeping bag, as you see, I mean, that's not even packed in tight, compacted yet. This weighs no more than a quilt, which is really weird, you know what I mean? I can't remember how many pounds. It's probably 1 pound or 2 pounds, something like that, I'm guessing now. And that was what the quilt was weighing. So, but no knocking the quilt. I love the quilts, they were brilliant. It was just sometimes you do fancy, changing. When you come out and you're backpacking, wild camping, whatever you're doing, and if you've got a quilt, sometimes you'll be in a quilt and you go, tonight I could have done with a sleeping bag, just because maybe it was a bit cooler than you thought it was going to be. And as I say, quilts have got a different way. You've got to kind of get used to how you've got to use all the clips, you've got to use all the toggles, you've got to cover your head for a start as well, with a quilt. So you've got to find some kind of cover, like a cap or something like that. And don't forget, if you carry a cap out, you're carrying more weight. So, there's sometimes when I was under the quilt and I was going, it's a lovely quilt, but I could have done with a sleeping bag just to zip up tonight. And that's why I sold them, because I did miss a sleeping bag. And don't forget, sleeping bags years ago used to be big, bulky, heavy, like rocks, you know what I mean? Sleeping bags of today are just as light as quilts. And, they do the job just what you want, And people say about lying on them, but there is some kind of security, isn't there, at night? When the temperatures change and you weren't expecting it to change, even though you're lying on some of the sleeping bag and it's not giving you insulation kind of benefit as such, it's just nice having it underneath your body, you know what I mean, as an extra layer, and you cocooned in. And mentally, even though you're not feeling the temperatures, mentally, psychologically, it's helping you out. You suddenly feel 100 times better. Whereas the quilt, you can try and wrap like a worm in it, like a pig in a row or whatever. But there is a technique to using a quilt. And I've seen quite a few videos on YouTube where people said, quilts suck, or, why bother with a quilt? Because the sleeping bags now are getting as light as quilts. So that's why I made a move. I checked it, and I used the quilt for many, many years and loved it. But there was times, as I say, when I was in the tent at night and I go, I wish I'd brought a sleeping bag tonight. Just not because I was cold, it was just that comfort feeling, you know, that security feeling. But like tonight, I'll use that as a quilt. But if I wanted to, I can just open it out, lie on it, zip up, job done. And that will go down to, I think this one goes down 0 degrees or maybe 2 or 3 degrees. So, you know, you'll be fine. That's it, Rubber. You stretch and put your head through the tent. I swear he comes in his tent and decides what is he going to destroy in it tonight. I've still got my damage from last time. I don't think these are very good. This is a Silnet patch repair. It's done the job, but I don't like the way it's all kind of, you know, this is like a clear, supposed to be clear. I'll probably change it and put something else on there. It looks too tacky, that has done it. But it's done the job for now. So yeah, I had to show you my midge bites. I'm a war hero. And I didn't cry much. And then, as I say, got the injury there, first bike injury. As I say, when I was riding it round, I used to go country parks where there was nice trails and everything. Never got a scratch or anything because it's too easy, isn't it? Come out here, it's another different ball game. That's what I'm saying. You can put all your gear on your bike and ride around your local area. Yeah, you'll get used to it. Get kind of used to that weight and the packs and how everything works. But it's when you come across this terrain and this tracks. I mean, as I said tonight, I was coming over some nice tracks, and then all of a sudden the tracks would turn to loose cobbles. I went through, didn't show you, I didn't film it sadly. I went through one river and just carried on cycling, and there's only about 4 inches of water, but God, did I get soaked. But luckily with the temperatures, I dried really quick. But it was quite good fun, that. And it was a wide river, and I cycled across, and of course the last probably metre I stopped because the drag of the water slowed the bike down. So I ended up putting my foot in the water, didn't I? Typical. This is what I have to put up with Clark. He'll do this, then he'll move around, then he'll move around again. Stella's like zonked. She'll hardly move. You'd have to drag her with, I don't know, a flamethrower or something up her bottom. Look at him. Rebel. I'm always worried. People said, someone's asked me a question. I think it was on YouTube. Did you get a problem with the dogs on your tents? You know, I think it was about the Falraven tent I used. This is like tissue paper. Dogs' nails will not show. They're like cats. They kind of not retract them, but they don't stick them out, you know, unless they have to use them. And as you can see, he sleeps upside down. You can't see his nails. Look, they're right in. And he hasn't put them through there. And trust me, I mean, look, you won't get any scratches. I used to, in the early days, it's the first thing I thought, just like the person asked, I thought dogs are going to put their nails through the ground sheet or something like that. They don't. And plus, if you put sleeping bags for the dogs as such, I mean, they will never go in them. I've tried last night wrapping him up in it because it was getting chilly and he didn't want it. Stella had Albuquerque bivy bag. I just unravelled it and just tossed it on over her back, and that kept her nice and warm. They could have done last night, and probably be the same tonight, could have done with the jackets on because the temperature dipped right down. But, as I say, they'll survive. He will. He's not a problem. So young. When he gets older, he'll feel it just like Stella. I'm rambling again, aren't I? Right. Time check. 8 o'clock. Showed you my war wounds. Showed you my stupid dog, and had a chat about sleeping bags. Right, I'm going now. I still don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll think about that overnight, and probably last minute tomorrow I'll decide what I'm doing. I might stay here and see how the midgets go, and then go hiking up on some higher spots and leave my gear here. I think I'll be safe. obviously I'll take a personal locator beating just in case anything happens. Or I might take the bike halfway back and stop somewhere. I don't know. I haven't decided, but I don't really want to go back to the car unless I find somewhere else to go. You know what I mean? But tomorrow is Saturday and it's going to be a busy day because it's bank holiday weekend, so there'll be lots of people everywhere. So if I go somewhere that's well known, then it'll be rammed, won't it? But anyway, on that note, I shall leave you. Rebel won't say goodnight, and Stella, you got no chance. She's in a coma. Look, see what room I've got for my legs, and that will get smaller, trust me. And look, he doesn't. There's a whole room here. That's the good thing, though. This is what I was saying to you about. I think I was saying on one of the YouTube videos. The dogs sleep there, and she sleeps up there. So I've got all this room. So when I was packing my backpack for bad weather, doing practices, I could sit here and pack there. You know what I mean? I had so much room. So even though this Anaris should, on paper, be smaller than my Foundraven tent, it works out bigger because of the way it's wide. You know, the dogs go where they want to go, and for some reason they go both ends. You'd think they'd want to go that way, wouldn't you? But no. He will end up that way probably in the morning, but 9 times out of 10 they're on the ends. So as long as my feet are okay, I'm okay. I've got all this room. Look, could have a picnic. Right, on that note, before it gets too long, I'm going.